Hi, this is Dr. Dong. Our topic is on digestive system. Very, very important, okay? But before we go on that, I just want to remind you, it's just, our society has told us that there's one problem and one solution, okay? No, it's the whole thing that we have to do so that we can improve, so that we can get better, okay? So, like peripheral neuropathy, GERD, thyroid condition, chronic fatigue, okay? It won't work if you have one problem and one solution. You already know that, okay? So we have to we want to find out the dysfunction of the body so that we can find out the cause of the problem so that we can improve. So that's what I want to remind you. Is the whole system. Body can heal itself. God gives us the power to heal. The healing is inside us. So we need to find out what is wrong. What do we do that is incorrect so that we can change, so that the system, our system can get better, our health can get better. Okay? So there's two portions to it. One portion is metabolic imbalance. All this like peripheral neuropathy, thyroid, autoimmunity, food sensitivity, there's the imbalance in the metabolic imbalance. What is what are in the metabolic imbalance? Is anemic, okay? Is there thyroid dysfunction, okay? Is there a blood sugar issue? Is there adrenals? Is there a hormone imbalance? A autoimmunity? Is there any hidden infections? Okay? Do you know if you have yeast, bacteria, parasites, food sensitivities? So those are metabolic imbalance. So we have to figure out, do you have a metabolic issue? And then also neurological imbalance. Okay, so they're decreasing the firing on the brain. You give you an example, very simple example, neurologic nervous system. Okay, if you have a good posture, you breathe well, your circulation, your blood flow flows really well. What does it do when you have a bad posture? You have difficulty breathing, okay, difficulty functioning, and you have more degeneration. This is the whole videos that we're going to do about just the posture and how to fix the problem, okay? But I just want to show you that there is a neurological aspect of it. Another example, if you have pain, tingling, numbness, or pain on one side, does it affect the brain? Right brain, left side of the body, left brain, right side of the body. If you have a bombardment of pain on one side, does it affect the brain? Does it affect the brain, the neurological of the brain? Of course there is. So there's metabolic side, neurological side. We need to have those fix it so it can be in balance so that you can restore your health. So today's topic is going to be on digestive system. 80% of the immune system is in the gut. Immune system, the cytokine, your defense cell is made where? In the gut. It's very important, not only the digestions of it, and also the absorptions, with the lack of energies. So the digestive system is very important. And what happened to our society? Okay, so processed food. Okay, why are we having so much diseases like now? So much allergies, a lot of health conditions. Okay, so the point is that we need to accept what is going on in our environment, so that we have to make the right choices, so that you can get better. Okay, so you have to make the right choices. We have to see what's going on. So metabolism, the food that you eat, what's the purpose of the food that you eat? What's the main purpose? To give you energy, digest it, so that your body, your cell, the mechanism of each individual cell in your body can use it to break it down so that it can use it as an energy. That's the purpose of the food. It's bioavailability. Okay? So that's why I always teach about eating, like chewing. Chewing is very important. Blending is important. And juicing is important. Okay? So if people are very sick, they should juice first, because it will be more bioavailable. Why is blending important? Blending, you have the nutrition, you have is better than chewing. So what it does is that you also have the fibers. And then, of course, you have to eat. You have to exercise the muscles. You have to exercise your teeth. Every part of it is important. We need to have a balance of things. What I do all three. Okay, chewing, my salad, my greens, the 5 greens that I said, and then also blending and juicing sometimes. Okay, and when I'm sick, what do? Juice first. Okay, so the purpose of food is what? For energies, the breaking down. So we need to define the issue. Okay, in our society is pushing us towards disease. So what do we have to do? We have to learn to do the right thing so that we don't have the disease. Do you agree? Are we getting healthier or getting sicker? Is our kids, our next generations, are they getting healthier or sicker? Okay, so you have to see. Diabetes, right, is going off the roof. Autism is going off the roof. Why? Okay, because the promotions of our society. The food that we eat, okay? So that way we have to learn so that we can make changes. The food that we eat from a can, from a bottles, and from a bag. Think of the food that you eat today. Is it coming from those three? Okay? If it does, what does it mean? Processed food. What does the processed food do? Preservative. What does preservative do? Kill the bacteria, to kill the good bacteria, affecting our gut lining. So that's an issue right there. Okay? And genetic modified food. Okay, just when you change the structures of the plants, and now they're going to do some for the meat. Okay, it's dangerous. When you change God's creation, we will pay the price. Okay, so that's what we're facing. So we need to have the knowledge and try to avoid it. Can we absolutely avoid 100%? It's going to be extremely difficult. But we want to have the knowledge and try to avoid it as much as we can, and we have to accept what it is. And the beautiful things. Okay, I'm not here to be negative, but the beautiful thing is that we have the body, and we have the body to heal. Your body can heal when you're doing the right things. That's the beauty of it. Even though you make some mistake in the past, it is okay. You can always make changes so that your body can repair. And I'll teach you how the process can be so that you can repair your system. 80% of the immune system is in the gut, digestive system. Leaky guts leak into leaky brain. Wow. Gut and the brain, is there relationships? Leaky gut leads into leaky brain. What does it mean? It means it's autoimmunity. It means the immune system can affect it. Okay, that's why we said gut is the second brain. So I'll show you the relationships. Okay, so the digestive system. We start with where? We start when you put things in your mouth. The enzymes start to break the food down. You chew it to break it down even further. You go into the stomach. So what's the first thing the stomach do? The stomach would produce some stomach acid, HCl, to digest the food that you will be eating. Okay, the HCl, hydrochloric acid, is to digest. Where's the problem? A lot of problem comes in here already. So what do? Ice water, right? We love to drink water. Ice water. When we eat, should we drink water? What happened to the acid when you do that? You dilute the acid. You're having indigestions. Okay, you're not digesting the food the way it should be. Why do you have to digest the food the way it should be? So that you can break it down to bioavailability, so that the body can use it as an energy. That's the purpose. But right now, when you drink water, what does it do? The food is not digesting the way it should be. Then what happened? When the food does not digest the way it should be, now it's going to go to the duodenal. This is the duodenal right here. Okay? So what does it do? Okay? The liver had to produce more. Oh, there's bigger food particles now because the digestion is not good. So what happened? The enzyme, other organs' enzyme have to work harder now. The liver has to work harder. The gallbladder is producing bile to digest it anymore. The pancreas work harder. So your organs need to work harder to pick the food particles, which should have been done in the stomach when you have a strong stomach acid. Okay, so it's very important. Simple thing that we make some changes can improve our health. So suggestion is that don't drink while you eat. Okay, so that's the digestion, and it goes to the small intestine and the colon. Okay, so that's how that's how the digestive system works. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at the leaky gut. What they said, leaky gut lead into leaky brain. So that's why the buzzword is gluten. Gluten-free here and gluten-free here. There wouldn't be an issue with gluten if we do not have a gut issue. Okay, let me explain. Okay, what are some of the leaky gut syndromes? What are some of the damage? What are some of the things that can affect it? Okay, so like dietary protein. That's why gluten. Okay, why is gluten a big buzzword? Because gluten is a very small protein. It's a small peptide. Where is it made? It's made in wheat. Okay, like bread, pasta, all those things. Has the flours that's made of wheat. It's a very small protein, very small peptides. What does it do? It can, if you have a leaky gut, it can travel through here, go into the blood, cause inflammatory process. Okay, so that, and then your immune system tend to saying, hey, the food cannot go into the blood. Why is it there? So now the immune system start attacking it. That lead into autoimmunity. And if we go into the bloodstream, so it can go and travels. Okay. So what are some of the triggering that cause the leaky gut? Low HCl. That's what we described above. Okay. When you have low HCl, you're not digesting the way it should be. Okay. The food particle is still very big, so it does irritate it. Lack of enzyme. You're not eating the veggies. You don't have the right enzyme, so that you can digest the membranes. That's why the vegetable is so important. It's the fibers also seal the layers of the gut lining. Okay, so low HCl, lack of enzyme can be an issue. Antibiotic. How many antibiotics have you been taking? If you're taking, some people say, no, I never take antibiotic. I never take antibiotic. I know it's not good to abuse antibiotic because, okay, I asked them, have you ever eaten any meat? Have you ever eaten any chickens? Have you ever eaten any cow? Okay, have you ever eaten pork? What did they have? When the farmers raised them, what did they do? They inject them with what? Antibiotic. So there is some residual of antibiotics there. We need to accept the fact. Okay, so there's antibiotics. There are infections. Okay, is there like bloating? A lot of people feel bloating. It's like one of the signs of bloating is bacteria. Okay, the bacteria, it could be like bacterial overgrowth. So bacteria, virus, and also yeast. How would we know? We don't know until we do the stool test. Okay. So is there any type of infections? Okay, blood sugar issue. The bodies need to break down, and I'll go over that in the previous slide about the blood sugars. The breaking down of the sugars. So the sugars we use as energies. The breaking down. If you have eating too much sugars, you're eating too much carbs. What would it do? It's going to affect the gut lining. Okay, it's going to affect the gut. And antibodies. Okay, pregnancy, stress. Stress is everything. Okay, it could lead into a lot of health issues. So how do we cope for our stress? What do we have to do? Exercise. Positive mental attitude. Okay, and then menopause toxins. There's a lot of toxins. Food allergies, food sensitivities is the key word. Okay, what type of food are you sensitive to? You don't know until we do the right tests. So in summary, so this is the digestive system. This is where the food is going to be. Food need to be stay in the food area, and this is the bloodstream. Okay, gluten, when the small protein, it travels through the leaky gut, going into the blood. So it's called blood-brain barriers that's being preached. Okay, so it's going to the system. So this can travel to the blood-brain barrier of the brain. Okay, so when it does, immune system, autoimmunity, the immune system start attacking. Dementia, Alzheimer's, okay, anxiety, brain for forgetfulness. The gut has a major effect on the brain. So we need to fix the gut first before we deal with the brain. Okay, so that's very, very important. Autoimmunity is the key. Okay, why is your immune system attacking your own body? There must be a reason. There's always a reason behind what the body do. So this is intestinal inflammation. So if you don't digest well, what happens? The lack of nutrients. You don't have the right nutrients, then what happens? If you're tired, okay? Nutrition, B12, magnesium, iron. A lot of ladies, iron deficiency. The digestive system doesn't allow them to breaking down the right food, so deficiency is an issue. Iron deficiency, ladies, because of menstrual periods, okay? And immune system, digestive system, immune system, and then there's gut issue, multiple food intolerance. So like if you have too much, if you have a leaky gut and you don't deal with it, then what happens? The gut will continue to get worse. At first, it's only sensitive to gluten, but later on, you will develop a sensitivity towards other grains, rice, tapioca, quinoa, oat, other grains that's being affected. So the more that you have a problem and you don't address it, what do? It's going to lead into more and more serious of the issue. The chain of event of gut dysbiosis, okay? It's all interrelated. That's why, okay, injury to the small intestinal surface. So there's an injury in this surface. Impaired digestion of the disaccharides. What is disaccharides? It's sugars. Saccharides is sugars. So glucose, okay, disaccharides and the malabsorption of the disaccharide, bacterial overgrowth, increasing bacterial byproduct and mucus production. So now the injuries continue. So this is a cycle. So what is impairing digestion of the disaccharides? Sugars, okay. Sugars is only one molecule. Fructose is just two molecules together. This is maltose. This is the example of disaccharide. It's two. Okay, disaccharide. This is the example of the disaccharides. So what happened is that the ability to impair breaking it down. So your small intestine has an issue of breaking down. So what happened? There's more sugars. What happened? You have more sugars. There's more bacteria growing. So that's why it leads into bacteria overgrowth due to sugars that cannot be breaking down. Fructose fructose is hard to digest as well. So there's a lot of sucrose. So there's a lot of breaking down the sugars issue. So what we have to do, we have to control what the sugar is intake, the carbs that we are taking. So we minimize. Why? Because it gives the body a chance to heal. The events of the chain events of the gut dysbiosis, right? This is normal right here. So when you eat the dietary disaccharides, the microvilli, okay, there is to break it down. Double sugars breaking with the right enzyme. This is normal, and it become a single sugars, so that it will go into your bloodstream. And what does it do? You can use it as for what? Energies. That's a normal process. Let's say this again. If you eat the sugars, okay, now if you have a good villi, good gut system, it's breaking down, you use it as energies. It's that simple, okay? If it's not, then this disaccharides right here, what does it do? You have a damage of the villi, damage of the gut system. What does it do? Injury blunt microvilli with fewer or no enzyme. What does it do? You cannot digest the sugars. If you cannot digest the sugars, what does it do? The bacteria. Where is the bacteria? Bacteria is going to help you to break it, right? No, it is not the good bacteria. I'm talking about the bad bacteria. That's why it's leading to the bacteria overgrowth when the sugar is not breaking down the way it should be because of the injury to the villi or the gut digestive system. So that's why it's a cascade of issue. This is keep going on. There's more and more damage if this continues to grow. Okay, so what we have to do? We have to do sugars, reducing the amount of sugars. It's not completely gone. You should have some sugars, with the right sugars from the veggies. Okay, so that the body can use it. So the solution, there's always a solution. I would never present an issue without a solution. Okay, there's always, I believe, this is what I believe is that the body is able to heal. If there's a poison, there's always a solution around us. So there's always a solution. So we always want to look for the solution to improve our health. When there's a gut, we need to repair. What are the things that we need to do? Remove, replace, inoculate, and repair. Those are the systems that we need to do. Okay? So remove. What do we have to remove? We remove the amount of sugars that we take. If you know that we have a gut system, the gut issue, what do? We remove what? The sugars. Okay? So what we have to do, we have to get a paleo diet or repair diet. When the patient come in, we have all this explained. We have a systematic way of guiding you going through the process so that the guts can heal. Replace by what? The HCl, live enzyme. So going back to the digestive system, right? HCl, digestive enzyme. Eating the right food, blending, juicing, okay? And then also chewing what? The food. What kind of food? The 5 greens, beets, lemon with the skin. Also on that ginger. Why do you have to eat ginger? Because Chinese healing, right? There's also we have to balance the coldness and the hot. So ginger is very important. And garlic is important so that we can, like if you eat too much veggie, you tend to be more on the cold aspect of things. So you have to ginger. Ginger is there to balance the true energies. Okay, so that replace everything is by system. We inoculate. What do? Probiotic. What type of probiotic? Okay, but we have to be careful too. Okay, do you have parasite? Do you have a yeast problem? Okay, this is what we have to know. Whenever you detect there's a yeast issue on your stool, we always think of 2 things: bird infection by a parasite, or heavy metals. There's an issue when there's yeast overgrowth. Okay, so that's what we have to think. We have to know what you're doing. If you have parasite, if you have the stronger bacteria, what happens if you start? Oh, I'm going to take probiotic. I'm just popping probiotic because it's so good. What do? You're feeding your enemies. Okay? You're feeding your enemies if you do have parasites. Okay, so. And probiotic is important. Fermented. Why is fermentation so important? Fermented food. What's fermented food? Is that the bacteria, the good bacteria you're talking about, is helping us to break down the food. So when we start eating it, going to the digestion, it's bioavailable for us so that we can use it as energy sources. So the probiotic is important. Fermented. Why don't we ferment it, our veggies, so that we can use it as energy immediately. Repair pipe to repair the gut lining. We need to repair the gut lining so that the body can heal. So that's all about the digestive system for now. and I'm here. If you have questions, always give us a call. And thank you.